No, I can't hear you on Zoom. I think we started, so, okay. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Global Grand Finals of Climate Launchpad. Today we're going to be looking at the semifinal round for climate-friendly food systems. We have 10 teams from all around the world and 4 jurors who will be coming to select the top 2 winners for the to the finals on October 2nd.
We have gone live and we can start.
Oh, I've already started. Should I start over?
No, it's fine.
Okay, okay, great. So before we start, just a little bit of kind of house rules. I think everyone has already renamed themselves. When we're pitching, please do make sure that your mic and video is off if you're not presenting. And I will announce when your turn is to come to pitch. I'll be the moderator, and assisting me is Aditi Singh, who will be the room boss. Just a couple of other housekeeping. If you have additional slides outside of the video that we're going to play, please do keep them handy during the Q&A. Aditi will enable you to share your screen at that time. And please do use the slides only appropriately when asked by the jury, right? Relevant to the question if possible. Once we're done with the 10 pitches, we'll just ask you to leave the room so that we can deliberate on with the jury on selecting the 2 to go to the next stage. Again, with this format, it's very similar perhaps and very likely with all the regional finals and national finals. We have a 5-minute pre-recorded pitch, which we'll play. After which there'll be a 3-minute live Q&A with the jury. I'll be, as a moderator, I'll check for the compliance with the rules on the deck. After today, today's 30th? Tomorrow is October 1st, so we'll announce the winners for this session tomorrow, the top 2 winners in this team. And on October 2nd is the final stage where you will be pitching. But everyone who wins today, the top 2, will get into the Climate-KIC, Climate Launchpad Accelerator. Sorry. I think I've also kind of mentioned this. All our 8 teams will be pitching today. Tomorrow, do make sure to check out the workshops, the keynote speech as well. They're quite exciting and in different areas. It's for startups, it's for other stakeholders. In fact, I'm doing one session on investing in clean tech investors and what they look for in startups. So do come to mine as well. And on Friday the 2nd, whether you win or not, you know, as I normally say in all these kind of events, this is just a competition. The real goal is your startup to become successful and have that impact that you wanted and that we all need. So even if you don't win, do come and check out the finals and support both the startups and the program. It'll be quite exciting to watch as well on day 3 on Friday. We have an amazing jury from around the world. I would like to invite the jury to come and give us a 1-minute introduction. Sorry. Maybe I'll start with Shanti. Maybe you could introduce yourself.
Yes, this is Shanti. I work as Chief Technical Advisor for Environmental Resilience Climate Change Portfolio in UNDP. I'm originally from Nepal, but currently working in UNDP in Djibouti. Wish you all the best and look forward to hearing your pitches.
Great, thank you. Abdul, do you mind introducing yourself?
All right, good morning, guys. My name is Abdul Dudu. You can just call me Abdul. I'm from Nigeria. I work as a technical assistant to the governor of Kwara State. I'm looking forward to hearing you guys' pitches, and I wish you all the best.
Great, thank you. Maria?
Hello, my name
Yeah.
is Maria João Teles. I'm from Portugal. I do the coordination of the North Regional Board of the Environmental Engineering Speciality of the Portuguese Engineering Association. Best of luck to all of you.
All right, thank you. And Kenneth, you're up.
Hi, thanks. Uwe Kenneth Nordland, based in Oslo. I work for the EAT Foundation as their innovation manager, and I really look forward to hearing your pitches. Thanks.
Great, thank you. And we do thank all the jurors for the time to support this program and help us in selecting winners for the next round. So let me share my screen again and we can start. I think it's this. Okay, great. So this is the order in which we will pitch. Do keep track of this in case so you're ready.
Oh, thank you.
Right. Maybe if you want to do a screenshot or cut and paste. Great. I think we have 10 startups actually, Aditi. So can you just double check?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So great. First startup is Clean Wave, and I'm going to start the video.
Hello, my name is Onur Gündür. I'm a computer engineer working in the clean tech sector for the last.
Okay, that didn't work. Let me try that again.
Hello, my name is Onur Gündür. I'm a computer engineer working in the clean tech sector for the last 10 years. And I represent the Clean Wave team in this application. We are developing the Clean Wave to end the diesel in the oceans. Our deal is very simple. We sell 30 kilowatt wave to energy converters for 80,000 euros to the aquaculture industry. It is placed on top of the fishing barges. The aquaculture industry is growing globally at a cumulative annual growth rate of 5%. We have identified Norway as our beachhead market because the market is big, it's mature, aware of the climate crisis, and they are willing to take action. We target 25% of the barges with 2 wave energy converters per fishing barge in the aquaculture industry. We have recently, we are now developing a proof of concept in Izmir, Turkey, for a fishing farm that has expressed their intent in writing. And all the critical pieces are acquired already. Now we are setting up a workshop. Our value proposition is also simple. We provide cheaper energy for fishing barges. This is a great investment because over 5 years, electricity generated by Clean Wave with a capacity factor of 30% costs 105,000 euros less than diesel generated. So reaching approximately 2 years of payback time. Moreover, the Clean Wave is really clean. It has no oil spill risk and replaces a very dirty fuel source. It also increases the production quality as less carbon dioxide is absorbed by the water, effectively reducing its acidity. Clean Wave is a portable wave to energy converter. It is unique because it's based on a patented and awarded design, which has been repurposed for floating structures by stripping away the bulk body components and carbon-intensive components, unlike the competition. This significant design decision reduces the costs and emissions by 65%, and it requires no site permits, no formalities, no concrete work, and no anchoring. Our customer discovery process involves a lot of mailing, meetings, and phone calls with potential clients from the energy, logistics, aquaculture, and public sectors. And we have proven correct on our vision, however wrong on some assumptions. We are now confident that the aquaculture companies are interested, and public sector can help us with networking, and costs matter more than emissions. We are currently in talks with Izmir Development Agency and Norwegian aquaculture companies in Izmir to see how we can develop the business further in line with the blue growth strategy of the city. We have designed the financials for our beachhead market, Norway, based on the data provided by the United Nations and the aquaculture industry. With approximately 25% of the 100 companies in our beachhead market, we aim to sell 50 products a year for 80,000 euros and cumulatively making 1,950,000 euros profit annually. Reaching 25% of the beachhead market, we save 33,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions per year. Each clean wave has an annual footprint of 33 tons of carbon dioxide emissions per year, and with 2 clean waves per barge, we drastically reduce the fuel-based carbon dioxide of the diesel generators from 211 tons of carbon dioxide per year to by 145 tons. However, this calculation includes the clean wave life cycle footprint, but excludes the diesel generators life cycle footprint. So it's really conservative. As an engineering-based team working with multinationals in the clean wave energy sector for more than 10 years, we share one common vision, and that's ending the diesel in the oceans. We'll take the first step by reaching 20 million sales in 5 years and providing jobs for 50 people. Thank you so much for your time, your support, and being a part of our green-blue journey. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have to go off of PPT. Clean Wave, if you can be ready with your slides to share. Aditi, do we have share screening?
Yeah.
Great. So we can open up to the jury now to ask questions to Onur.
I'd like to go first. Thank you so much for a nice presentation. And I really like the idea, you know, like getting the diesel out of the oceans and seas. Just wanted to know, and I see that you have very modest kind of like projections over the years, right? Like I think that is being practical. Is that based because you see some limitations, and what do you think are the limitations for the growth or the propagation of this business idea? Thank you.
The business itself is also growing in the world. So we have just verified this with the fishing, or let's say feeding barge owners. Just before the event, we had a meeting with a Norwegian company, an online meeting, and we have verified with them as well what we have proposed. Let's say these estimates and projections are, I think, conservative with packs from today's sales. They can pay themselves back in roughly 4 years in the Norwegian business terms, let's say. That would include the diesel costs as well. But for the, let's say, fishing barge, typically one company in Norway has like 10 to 12 lines which consume so there is a significant room for improvement as soon as we can show that the product works as intended, which is why we are now wielding a pilot with also a fishing farm company, but in Izmir this time. So we need to fix things quite fast.
Could I ask a question?
I don't know.
Sorry?
Or sorry, I just lost the connection, but yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the presentation. I was wondering if I understood it correctly, this would provide electricity to the boats, so supplying feed to the aquaculture farms.
And also like a platform.
sorry, the connection was a bit bad. Could you repeat that?
It is including the boats and the barges. The barges are sometimes just simple platforms, just like they just stand in their anchor to the ground. So it just fluctuates like this.
Okay. Because I was wondering, in addition to, because you pointed to the savings compared to diesel, but how much retrofitting or what additional capital costs would it be involved for them to change from diesel to your system?
It is zero, because this is not a change, more or less like they have already enough space on the barge, so they will just install these units to phase out to diesel generators. Without a battery pack, we cannot really this point. Owners that also invest significantly in battery technologies, because the diesel generators on these barges operate roughly at 20% load, so which is very inefficient. That's why they try to generate electricity at roughly 80% of efficiency to store that in batteries and then shut down the battery. So it has almost no switching cost.
Great. I think that that's time that we have.
The fishing barge producers, not the fishing farms. The producers itself gave us that information.
Great. I think that's the time we have. Thank you, Onur. Thank you, Jury. Thank you. We have 2 minutes turnaround for the next. If Jury wants to just take time to put their notes down before the next startup pitches. Great. And Jury, just let me know when you're ready, if you're ready, for the next pitch.
I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm also ready.
great. Abdul, Kenneth?
Sorry, I'm ready as well.
Great. Abdul, you can start.
Yeah, go on.
Great. All right, our next startup. Let's see.
Hello, I'm Anna from Ducampo Aquaponics. We are in Inhambane, Mozambique. In April 2005, I traveled to northern Mozambique where I met Maria, a beautiful and kind woman dressed in our vibrant and colorful fabric called capulana. She was holding a baby with one hand and a lemon on the other. We were chatting, and she told me that was all she had to feed the baby on that day. I've heard of many deserts around the world. What I didn't know was that Mozambique has so many wasteland areas where it is so difficult to grow food. From that hard experience came the idea of the Ducampo Aquaponics, an oasis in a nutritional desert. Aquaponics recirculates the same water from the fish to nourish the plants, and as they clean it, the water goes back to the fish. It uses no soil and it can be installed anywhere. It produces nutritious vegetables and fish. Our deal is to franchise aquaponic systems to vulnerable women like Maria. To achieve this, we will first address the local nutrition needs and sell to wholesalers and retailers. Soon after, Maria and other beneficiary women will join the project through our free franchising scheme. Ducampo will provide the systems, the inputs, give proper training and supervision, make the sales, and share the profit with every woman. Partnering with them and starting at a beachhead of 50% market share, we will grow to 1% of the national market within 5 years. We are targeting local supermarkets. In a region of about 80,000 people, we know our clients very well. They are enthusiastically receptive to the project, and we foresee a very low cost for customer acquisition. Besides the healthy and trendy aspect of being organic, proximity supports the empathy that we sustain with our clients. Being able to accept orders ahead of production is a huge plus. It ensures convenience and availability, hence more profit for them. Our model supports the 4 pillars of food and nutritional security from United Nations FAO. Nutritionally, our toxic-free produce is much richer and enhanced by the diversity we will offer. We rotate crops faster, producing 5 to 8 times more than normal practices in a controlled environment all year round, regardless of climate conditions. We will cover all value chains with our expertise, our capacity to market, and our full heart dedication. Ours is a turnkey operation. Our model will allow the market to lead the setup of production centers all over Mozambique and elsewhere. In our efforts to validate our assumptions, we talked to small retailers, wholesalers, 2 big international chains, and a few small farmers, totaling 25 interviews. They were all promptly receptive, and we learned that proximity is a big plus for quick response. There are no competitors nearby. Empathy is a must. We also learned, to our great advantage, that they are eager to have both packed and bulk produce. The organic aspect is an interesting add-on. Looking at the numbers, aquaponics demands a big initial investment. However, operational costs are much lower, resulting in larger profit margins and 3 years to break even. Starting with a beachhead of 50% market share, we expect a profit of over 1.5 million euros in 5 years. Our key drivers are price, cost to sell, and market share. One can hardly think of a business that makes such a profit and covers as many bases as we do. On the climate side, we have the smallest footprint. The same water is constantly recycled, and we use low energy units, saving plenty of water and energy when compared to traditional practices. We will adopt solar energy as early as viably possible. Less space means less deforestation. All sludge will be used to create fertile soil. Our team, qualified in aquaponics design and management, I am the project leader. Jose is the link between clients, suppliers, and the women. Our friend Orlando ensures all the necessary technical support. He is a recognized marine biologist with successful projects in Europe, Latin America, and Africa. Last but not least is Maria. We will now be able to own our own business. We aim to produce good health and nutrition to everyone, to offer great business opportunity to vulnerable women, to achieve a 5 million euro valuation by 2026 and become the new benchmark in agribusiness, clean, balanced, and inclusive. Providing healing and nutritional food for everyone, we are your nearest green friend by far. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Great. So great, Anna, if you're there, great. We'll just wait for the jury for their questions. Great.
Hello, congratulations for your pitch. You saw an opportunity for collaboration and innovation, and but I would like you to better explain how will the vulnerable women will partnership with you? How did you assume that they will work with your project? This is an awesome idea, because if you work with them, you will decrease the poverty in that region, but I didn't get quite well. How will you recruit them?
Anna, you're on mute. You have to unmute, yeah.
Sorry. Hello, good morning. Thank you for your question, Maria. I will start by giving you the example of Maria. She lives in a land and she cultivates in a small farm. What we expect and intend to do is implant a system for Maria, and she will use the system. She will produce the vegetables and the fish, and then we will share the profit. We, in the land that we have available, we have identified the first Marias, the first women that we want to work with. We have started interviews, and unfortunately we had to stop them because we were creating expectations and we were advised to stop. But we have identified the first people that we would like to work with. We have 15 families around the land that we will start, and we have identified the interest. And after that, we want to work with the government and with institutions that together we can identify these people. Have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I think Abdul has a question.
Yes. Anna, job well done to you and the team. I love the idea, especially the fact that you're trying to carry women along and trying to work with these women in the rural areas. I mean, this is really good. And in fact, from our own study down here, we realized that women even do better when it comes to greenhouse farming and aquaponics. So yeah. But my question is, okay, first of all, the likes of Maria, they are key integral parts of your business model, right? So my question is, I've had experience working with smallholder farmers, women, youth, and all of that. Have you identified the challenges that you might have with working with these local women as to the big goal you have in front of you, you know, with this whole market valuation, hitting this particular figure? Have you identified the challenges, and what are the ways you're looking at mitigating those challenges? Thank you.
Thank you for your question about the challenges. Yes. I will start from the women and then I'll go to the numbers. First, the women. Our biggest challenge is that we have many languages in Mozambique. I'm now currently in Inhambane and we have our local languages. And that will be the main challenge, because what we need to do is to explain and train and give the supervision in a way that these people will understand. And we are looking for partnerships with the government and other institutions. There is already an NGO that will help us with the translations. People that have, like teachers, and here in the agriculture, we have, in Portuguese, chamamos extensionists in the agriculture that will help us with the translations when we train these people, when we are together talking about how it works. Regarding the numbers that we have on the financial paper come from us working the first systems, and then with that profit, we will start to franchise the beneficiaries. So we intend to first produce while training them with us, and they can come with us and help us with the production, and we will commercialize. One system yields about 9 to 10 tons of vegetables, and that will allow us to have the money to invest on the systems, because we intend to franchise the systems for free to these vulnerable women.
Thank you,
Have
Anna.
I explained?
Yeah, you have. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that's the time we have. Thank you again. Jury, we'll give you a couple of minutes. And maybe thank you, to put you on mute. Just for everyone, maybe we could try to keep questions and answers both maybe a little bit briefer, so maybe give more time for more questions to come in our 3 minutes. And Jury, just let me know when you are ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready too.
Okay. I think that was everyone. I hope. Okay, great.
Hi everyone. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, smallholder farmers provide 80% of the food supply in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. They are a vital pillar in our food supply chain and food security. Yet they are one of the most underserved communities throughout the world. My name is Taranga and I represent FarmAg, a Sri Lankan-based startup that is helping underrepresented smallholders to connect into emerging farm-to-fork networks. Ceylon tea manufacturing process has been there for more than 100 years with little or no technological disruption. And it will be the first market that we roll out our solution. We define our customer group to be a typical private tea factory with the ecosystem of field officers and farmers. The tea factory is our primary buyer, and they will pay roughly $3,000 per month on a subscription basis for the entire supply chain ecosystem. We offer a technology solution to digitize supply chain, including mobile apps to farmers and the agriculture consultants. As we grow, we will also build a marketplace for various stakeholders to interact with this ecosystem and provide numerous value additions. We intend to serve the entire agriculture sector in Sri Lanka. Yet, given the early stage nature of our company, we have chosen tea smallholder supply chain to be our beachhead. We will also consider using our sector expertise and explore expanding into other tea exporting markets. In our view, the farmers are the initial processing point of an agriculture value chain and is the most important point for any sustainable practice. However, as we have shown here, the share of the value from a cup of tea allocated to the factory and the farmer is minimalistic. Sustainability-focused buyers are emerging in developed markets and are pushing for fair values of the good to be transferred to the producers. But the tea factories we interacted with needed a structure to tap into such buyers and meet their traceability requirements. Every 5% increase in the pricing level represents an increased turnover of roughly $15,000 to a typical tea factory. Our product offering is a comprehensive end-to-end solution that will address the farm-to-fork value chain. In stage 1, we will be Sri Lanka's only platform to digitize farmer records and to geotag land records. This is the vital key step to create a digital identity for the farmers and link various providers to use this database and expand their offerings. One such use case that we are working on now is to provide an innovative weather-based index insurance. When we spoke to the tea factories, smallholders and the regulators, our questions were targeted on identifying where the digital impact can happen. We soon realized what drives adaptation is determined by the impact of the technology on the bottom layer of the factory and the farm. This is why we embed traceability as a key offering over the other features in our pilot. We also understood that working with the tea factories is the easiest way to reach the farmer networks. And more importantly, the tea factories can afford to pay the subscription on behalf of the farmer. Our paying customer is going to be a tea factory with 1,000 farmers on board. The monthly subscription of such a group is going to be $3,000. There are 429 tea factories in Sri Lanka, and there's an association of the factory owners as well. We feel that around 100 factories, representing 24% of this market, is something that we can get on board as our customers. With this structure, we are confident that we can hit a $3 million revenue figure per year. As all of you are aware, agriculture is one of the main industries that must address carbon sequestration. Whilst tea has a lower carbon footprint than other beverages, only the larger tea companies are focusing on greenhouse gas verifications to drive carbon neutral products. We are exploring mechanisms to build a scalable model in our pilot project in Sri Lanka. The first thing we want to do is to use our platform to encourage tea factories to get Rainforest Alliance certification. In this process, we will also drive the farmer to follow climate-smart agriculture practices recommended by the Sustainable Agriculture Network. Even though tea is the biggest plantation in Sri Lanka, there is no crop insurance to the tea sector. We are trying to offer an innovative weather index insurance as a climate risk mitigation tool and are developing a pilot with the European reinsurer. We basically started on an agriculture project ourselves and got into this platform level. We are running a small plantation on our own and are doing this as a value addition tool. The idea is to become the largest ecosystem player in the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka and hit a $3 million revenue figure within the next 3 years. In the long term, we will also want to look at a mechanism to evolve as a platform that is owned by the subscribers as well. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Okay, great. Farm Ag, if you can be ready with your video and your audio, 3 minutes, and perhaps if I can ask both the startup and the jury to keep the kind of questions and responses shorter in duration so we can try to get more jury to participate. I think Shanti, you wanted to go first?
Sure, I will be very quick. You have a very long value chain. Thank you for the presentation. You have a very long value chain starting from the farmers all the way to the insurers, right? So along this way, like where if you have to say like from 1 to 3, which will be the top challenges that you will face along this value chain to make the business successful? Thank you.
So I think in our view, the biggest challenge that we have had is to engage stage number 1. So if you look at the traceability chains, getting farmer land records tagged to a farmer is one of the key challenges in giving any solution, identifying the farmer networks. So in this long value chain, what we are focusing in step 1, 2, and 3 is to kind of get a digital record at the ground level to see where the foods are produced, where the initial processes happen, so that then from that point onwards, there can be market connectivity. So our focus on that piece is, where we are working on in the initial stage.
Thank you.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you for the presentation, but what would you say is the main thing your customer would try to achieve by buying your solution?
So one of the challenges that we have had is that if you look at the traditional supply chain, Sri Lanka, the tea factories have to produce and send it to the Sri Lanka tea auction by mandate. They are not the exporters, but just at a very minimalistic packaging level, there is about a 30% pricing premium that the factories are not enjoying. So for a factory to skip and to get a higher value buyer into their network, they need to embed certain features which are required by international markets, and that is a technology piece that we provide to the factory. Thank you.
Great. Maria, Abdul.
No question from my hand.
Great. No problem. Okay, great. All right, thank you very much. All right, thank you. Thank you, Farm Egg.
Thank you.
We'll just give the jury a little bit of time to put their notes down, and I'll set up the next startup. Jury, we do have a 5-minute break, and I think I was planning to do it after the 6th startup. This is 3rd startup done. If you do want it to be earlier, do let me know. And let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Super. Okay, here we go.
Hello everyone, my name is Usama Al-Bagouri and I'm the founder of iFarm. We are a team of agriculture and technology experts and we are revolutionizing the hydroponic industry. Hydroponic is a method of growing plants without soil by using nutrient solution dissolved in water, and it's one of the promising solutions to lower the CO2 footprint and increase our food production that needs to be increased with 50% by 2050, as stated by the Food and Agriculture Organization. Unfortunately, this technology is facing a lot of challenges, and growers suffer from the complexity of the system to manage all the parameters. That leads to lose almost half of the production. We, iFarm, come out with our solution, the Intelligent Production Enhancing System, to help hydroponic industry in Egypt and save our food production. Our solution will empower the hydroponic farms. We guarantee zero production loss, 95% less water with 40% less energy consumption, and we will sell our solution was €1,500 per system for the hydroponic farmers in Egypt. And the market for this is huge. The global hydroponic market is valued at almost €17 billion and it's increasing. And we are going to start with our pitchhead market, which is hydroponic growers in Egypt, that is valued €14 million market with nearly 5,000 farmers and sales potential of 15,000 systems. With our solution, we help customers to save up to 40% of the production cost, which is equal to €16,000 in 1 hectare per each year, which means return on investment in less than 12 months. Our solution also additional values we guarantee for our customer a predictable, consistent crop growth, 70% increase in growth rate with our plug-and-play, easy-to-use system without any need for technicality in background. And we have been contacted from a couple of farms and investors that are willing to cooperate with us for implementing the project once it's ready. Our solution is composed of hardware and software. First, by easily adding our high-density customized sensor with the system, it could be read and monitor on real-time the plant nutrition and environmental needs. And through processing in our plant algorithm and wireless automation, it optimizes the best condition for plant growth spontaneously with the smart automation system that don't need any technical background from farmer to operate it. And within the mobile app we develop or with using the SMS for normal phones, we will inform the owner on real time with the updates in the system that he can follow the process with the possibility of controlling it with the application. By this way, we transform normal farm to wireless full automated. Our advantages, our machine learning specific algorithm help to provide every plant with their specific nutrient requirement. Data inside the ability for full storage for those data to be easily reviewed. Artificial intelligence, so we eliminate any human error could happen. And thanks to our technology, we are creating new varieties of job opportunities in biotechnology, biology, and software engineering. Through our customer discovery, we interviewed more than 30 people with our key questions, and we found that they have problem in the knowledge and the cost in the production, and they need effective and affordable solution. And they are ready to innovate. That's why we come up with our solution. Our financial projection, we aim to make a profit of almost 2.1 million euro in year in our fifth year with 15% market share and a profit of 675 euro per product. And our key driver for this is the market share, net price of product, and the profit of the product. Our climate impact is big. With 15% of our paycheck market, we cut 660,000 tons of CO2 per year. Adding to that, we save 114 liters of water also per year. Thanks for our team and soil background with a huge research network. We have myself, Osama Bakouri, Sustainable Agriculture, 6 years experience in hydroponics, Bashir Tawil, master in mechatronics with 4 years experience in automation, and Rahma, our marketeer with 3 years experience, and Khalaf Abdallah, our business administration with 10 years of experience. Our dream to make hydroponic more sustainable and efficient, create new job opportunities, and achieve a 10 million valuation by 2025. iFarm, let's together feed the world one drop at a time. Thank you.
All right, super. Great. So iFarm, if you could just have your video and audio ready, and we'll wait for the jury. I think Abdul. Oh, sorry, Maria.
Congratulations for your pitch. You are changing the world for the better. Can you just explain a little bit better which controls do you have in place to ensure that the end user is implementing the suggestions or advice of the data you will supply?
So normally our system will be integrated of 8 sensors that will be implemented in the hydroponic system inside to read the pH, EC, temperature, and water level, and also the temperature of the greenhouse outside. And those are all connected with the database we will having for optimizing the nutrient, the net plant needs. Each plant have a specific requirement that we will be having in our database. And once this signals is measuring, it gives this database the optimum requirement, and it gives the actuators the signal to either reduce the water, increase the nutrients until it becomes for the efficient and the perfect solution needed for this plant for the perfect growth. And this is all automated, so the farmer or the growers don't have any background technicality. He will just can be following this automation with the mobile application, and if it's not usable for him, it will be in the SMS with notification customized to just follow up what is going on the system.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I think Kenneth has a question.
Okay.
Thanks. I think Abdul.
Yeah. I found wonderful presentation. One thing I really appreciate about your idea is the efficiency. The efficiency level is really amazing, 95%. But this is my question. Right now, what are the challenges facing the hydroponics, shall I call it, the sector? And how have you, what mitigation factors have you put in place that will not actually affect your own growth as well with this projection?
Sorry, the challenges for the hydroponics and the end of the question?
Yeah, and how you intend to actually combat those current challenges from actually affecting your own projections. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The challenges for in the Egypt that we conducted, even with the interviews and my experience in working in the hydroponics in the medium to large scale, it's not easy to maintain all the parameters for the plant growth. So one of the interviews that we conducted with no automation system, he affected by losing half of his production because the parameters is really critical for putting in the system. This is one challenge. Other challenges is controlling all this huge area and optimizing this, these parameters. In Egypt, also, one of the second challenge is the cost of the structure of these units because of the farmer afraid from investing in this because he don't have this knowledge of controlling it. So he said it is a bit of risky to invest on this infrastructure without having this knowledge of controlling it. So we are filling in this gap by our solution that's affordable, also would be within the return of investment out of the production consistency and the increasing of the production rate. We will optimize his cost of our solution, and we will make this hydroponics is efficient and best production in terms of the production, growth. Also in the sales market, we will implement some other, I will add this falsely, some market to be helping them to sell their production to the nearest urban areas.
Thank you, Osama. I apologize, Kenneth. I think we're way over time on this one, unless it's really short. Otherwise, we wait.
Pass. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Osama. Great. I'll give the jury time to put their notes down.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Hello, we're the team of Legendary Fish, and we present you the plant-based seafood revolution. I'm sure many of you have tried veggie hamburgers or sausages before, but how many of you have tried veggie fish? Probably not too many, because those products hardly exist on the market right now. We want to change this. As Legendary Fish, we produce and sell plant-based seafood to restaurants and food retailers for a starting price of €65 per kilogram. The market for seafood is about €135 billion per year in the world, while the salmon market, our first product, is about €5.5 billion per year in the European Union alone. The plant-based salmon market in the European Union is about €30 million per year, which is rather small, but it's projected to increase sharply in the upcoming years. Our beachhead market are restaurants that sell seafood in Europe, and we want to partner with about 4 to 5 partner restaurants in major European cities for our market entry. We give our customers a unique value proposition. First of all, our products have a longer shelf life of up to 10 times longer compared to conventional fresh salmon, which means reduced costs for shipping and less food waste. Also, our products are healthier because they do not contain any heavy metals, antibiotics and growth hormones, or microplastics, which are substances commonly found in conventional fish. The product that we produce is 3D food printed plant-based fish fillets. Why 3D food printing? Let me explain. With this technology, we can produce complex products such as salmon fillets or tuna steaks, which do not exist on the market right now, as our competitors currently only offer products such as ground tuna or fish sticks. This is a new and patentable technology, and we have a first mover advantage. The ingredients we use are sourced locally, and the nutritional value of our products is similar to conventional fish. In our customer discovery, we talked with about 25 restaurant owners and food retailers and asked questions such as, how many times per week does seafood get delivered to you? Where the answer was 2 to 7 times per week, depending on the restaurant. Also, we wanted to know what's the percentage of customers that order vegan or plant-based food, where the answer was 10 to 25%, and the percentage of customers asking for sustainability aspects, so is the food organic and where does it come from? The answer was 15 to 30% of the customers, depending on the restaurant. Regarding our financials, the cost for us to produce the product is about 24 euro per kilogram, while the price we ask is about 65 euro per kilogram. We want to work initially with about 200 customers, so 200 restaurants, and sell about 40,000 kilogram products per year, which would mean a profit of 1.6 million euro for our market entry. The climate impact can be seen here. We calculated that our production will emit about 75% less CO2 compared to the production of salmon in a Norwegian aquaculture farm, which is mainly due to the use of plant-based ingredients. This is the team and this is our dream. We want to enable the next generation of plant-based seafood products and contribute to the recovery of the oceans, to actually have more fish for those who need it, such as rural, coastal communities who depend on fishing but cannot compete with industrial fishing companies. Also, we want to capture about 5% of the total salmon market in the European Union by 2030. And this is the team that will make it happen. I'm Robin, I have a background in biotechnology, then we have Teresa with a background in bioengineering, and we're completed by Hakan, who's the expert for 3D food printing. All three of us have a PhD in life science or engineering, and we partner with the company Felix Printers, who already has experience in upscaling of 3D food printing production facilities. With our company, we would like to offer customers from 2022 on the opportunity to choose sustainable, healthy, and tasty plant-based seafood products. Thank you.
I think Kenneth raised his hand first. Can you go? You can go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. And thanks for a very eloquent presentation. My main question is about the profitability that you suggested. It seemed quite high. Could you explain a little bit more why you feel confident in that?
Certainly. The price is rather high in the beginning, of course, because our production volumes are rather lower initially. But of course, we want to reduce our price and target a price range of about 40 euro per kilogram in the future, which is also the price for sustainable certified salmon from with higher quality.
Thank you.
I think I go next. Yes, thank you for the presentation. It's very interesting. I was just wondering, it's not a question, just a like a comment. If it is plant-based, then why we call it like salmon or seafood? Like we can maybe just give it a new name, like commiserating with the products and like the input ingredients. My question is about the validation. You have said that it is a patentable technology, but it is not patented yet, right? And you're using the ingredients which have to be verified and stamped, like there has to be like a food stamp on it. So what do you think are the challenges towards getting that? Because if that is not happening, then, like the business ahead, that the market ahead will not be captured as you have envisaged, isn't it? So just wanted to know about that. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. The ingredients we use are actually well-known ingredients that most of us can already buy in a supermarket or online, such as pea protein or soy protein. We also experience with mushroom protein. So from the ingredient side, it's not such a big problem. And regarding the patentability, it's true. We right now optimize some processes work on some of the hardware issues, because 3D footprinting is very new. So there are not many companies who supply these hardware parts. So we developed this on our own right now, and we want to patent it next year if our trials are successful.
Hello, a very quick question. This is a game changer for business. Congratulations for that. But what about taste? Did you perform any taste testing? What people think about the taste?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we already developed a flavor solution for salmon, and we right now work on tuna. We taste this right now in a spread product, so something that people can put on their bread, and there we receive very positive feedback where people tell us like, oh wow, is it salmon or is it plant-based? Like they cannot distinguish. So from the flavor, it's very good. Right now we need to put emphasis on the texture, because this is still the part that we need to develop most.
All right. Any more questions?
I think I would just like to ask, I mean, what the job potential is, I mean, of your idea, and what is the job potential?
Potential in which way do you mean?
And job creation, basically.
Yeah, well, we want to become a food production company. So of course we plan, for instance, to have 10 employees in 2 years. And then of course it's a increase from them. So ideally we would have 50 to 100 employees in 5 years time.
All right.
All right, I think that's time, and thank you very much. Yes, great. I think we'll give the jury time, but also that's 5 startups done. We do have 4 left. This is a good time for a 5-minute break to stretch our legs, get a glass of water, etc. I have 2:25. Okay, that's India time. 11 o'clock CET. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Back on for the next startup.
Yeah, we can meet at around 11 Dutch time.
11 Dutch time. CET. Great.
Yeah, we're good to go. We can start.
Alrighty, great. Welcome back. I think our streaming is started again. Just wanted a quick check if the jury is here. Just give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. All right, so 4 more left. So let me.
Can you mute? Can you close the presentation and start it again?
Yes, yes. Close the present. 1 second. One sec, I'm just getting it up.
We can still hear the video.
Let me try that right now.
Hi everyone.
I just get to my place, right? All right, here we go.
And I represent Marinov Kardashlar. The idea of our project is to provide a service for the recycling of manure from local farms. We get a source of energy and high quality fertilizer for the land. The deal we offer looks like this. Let's divide it in 2 stages. The first stage we provide is recycling service for the manure from local farms at a price of 10 euros per ton and sell the recycled liquid fertilizer by 50 euros per ton. The second stage, in the process of recycling, we obtain biogas, which we will process into the electricity, which we will sell to an energy company. Our fertilizer market is primarily targeted at agricultural producers. The total market value is estimated at 13.5 million euros. The energy market is made up of Premier Energy, the only energy company on the territory of Moldova, which takes 8.4 million euros. Our service saves time on manure processing. Non-recycled manure requires 4 months to ferment for its use as fertilizer, while our product is recycled in reactor is ready for use after 21 days. The absorption of non-recycled manure is highly dependent on weather conditions, while it loses up to 40% of nutrients, while our product is instantly absorbed because it's liquid. The human resources for non-recycled manure is 6 times that the recycled liquid fertilizer. In addition, there is no need to spend additional resources on epidemiological standards. Masks are pretty expensive now. So our service is manure recycling. As a result, we get fertilizer and energy. The peculiarity of biogas technologies is that they are not purely energy technologies, but represent a complex covering for the solution of both energy and environmental, the agrochemical and other issues. And this is their high profitability and competitiveness. In order for manure to turn into high quality fertilizer, areas with a certain temperature regime are needed, and this is an extra cost. In addition, methane gas is released into the atmosphere, which has a negative impact on the ecological situation of the planet. Biogas production is extremely simple. Raw materials of it are put in a sealed special reactor where it decomposes in absence of oxygen with a constant heating and steering. As a result, the output is not only the energy but also a perfect fertilizer, more efficient than the simple manure. So our main clients are farms that are willing to pay for recycling 1 ton 10 euros, agriculturals who will buy the recycled fertilizer from us for 15 euros, and Premier Energy, which is a local energy company that is ready to buy energy. After interviewing 65% of the client pool, we learned that each of them stock about 4,600 tons annually. They have more than 800 hectares for fertilization, and they are ready to implement our innovative recycling. And the most important, what do we do now? After the interviewing, we proposed to unit, and we already registered the cooperative company and working on fundraising for the project on cow farm for 750 cows. From a financial point of view, everything is clear. We have already concluded preliminary agreements with 6 farmers for provision of manure recycling service. Thus, we already cover 33% of our market. Ultimately, our clients will bring us 280,000 euros per year. So unprocessed manure leads to the soil acidification problems, groundwater pollution, and emission of methane, a greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere. To generate electricity at nuclear power plants, the emission of CO2 is 400 milligram per ton. And when the biogas is produced, the amount of CO2 released into the atmosphere is only 125 milligram. It's 3 times less. Thus, we save 275 milligrams per ton for a gigawatt of energy. So our team is small, but the goals are ambitious. We believe that to achieve free energy for agricultural producers, me as manager and the Anatoly as the director of this idea, we focus on entire market. Therefore, we are optimistic about the production of 250,000 tons of fertilizer annually. And this will make it possible to cover with organic fertilizer up to 30,000 hectares of land. Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right, great. Thank you, Compost Energy. If you can turn on your video, yes, and we wait for the jury. Shanti, yes.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Very simple question, maybe you already thought about it. What differentiates you from the rest of the similar businesses that are there managing the compost and then like turning into the compost manure? What will be the value addition that you bring as an innovation component? Thank you.
Do you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear, yes.
So the thing that we propose is innovative for the south region of our country. We are not, there is no more like other companies that are working on the fertilization, on the composting. So we are the unique here at the south of our region. There are 2 more companies, like 3 more companies, 1 in center, 2 at the north, but they are not, we are not competitive at this period of time. General, what we are proposing, like why our clients will not make for themselves like their own compost bioreactor, is that we provide like a service for whole, like it's a chain, it's a circle for them, and we propose them the recycling service. It costs cheaper than if they will buy and make a reactor for themselves, for their farm. So this is the idea. We will make service cheaper, and we will be the first in the region at the south of our country.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, Kenneth, go ahead with the question.
Thank you for the presentation. Why are you limiting your market to only your country?
We are like, in general, we are not limiting for only our country. We are focusing first like year and a half on our market, because there is a need for the local farmers. They want to help, they have a problem, we want to solve it. Then we will work with our partners we have from Ukraine and from Romania as the closest countries. So there are neighbors, we will work with them, and then we will spread to the Europe. So in the plans, we have ideas to go to the Europe market.
That answers the question, I guess. Abdul, you have a question? Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you guys for your presentation. So my question is, do you have plans to leverage on technology, I mean, in what you're trying to do?
Repeat the question.
I said, do you plan on leveraging on technology in what you're planning to do?
Like we are planning to create a big biogas factory somewhere in the center of the region, and in the circle we have a lot of farmers that want to like to get a fertilizer that will be useful for their lands. The idea is that we will propose them this service. We will transport their manure to our reactor. We will reduce it in 21 days. We will get them the liquid fertilizer. And this is like, and they will use it for the farms, for the lands. They will make their crop. They will grow what they want to sell, like the product. Then they will provide more manure because they have farms, and they will give us more manure for the recycling. So this is like, this is the main deal. I hope this was the question. Sorry.
I mean, so basically your product is not entirely tailored to the farmer's need. I mean, it's just a general, product sort of. You're not working towards tailoring it to the specific needs of the farmers, the nutrient they really need in the soil for their crop.
Sorry, I have a bad connection. Could you please repeat one more time?
I said, so basically your product, I mean, is not being tailored to the specific needs of the nutrients of the farmers, of what they really need for their crop.
Maybe just we are a minute over. Maybe we could just unfortunately skip this question. Leave it at that. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you, Compost Energy. Great. So let's give the jury a little bit of time to with their
I'm done.
Great, great.
I'm done also.
Yeah, I'm ready as well.
All right, let us start.
Did you know that the second largest contributor to climate change is food production? Let me tell you the worst. By 2050, we need to produce 70% more food from what we currently produce. If we keep on working on the same linear production of take, make, waste, our planet will not be able to handle this. My name is Andreas Kangari, and today I will present to you Mycofiltro, a biofilter which valorizes fish wastewater into producing sustainable proteins. A biofilter which brings circular economy in food production. We are selling modular biofilters to land-based fish farmers for the price of 70,000 euros per unit. With this system, a land-based fish farmer will not only be able to clean the wastewater, but also recover the nutrients from the wastewater in producing food for human consumption and for the fish. Our beachhead market is in the Netherlands, and this is because the Dutch government has the ambition to go full circular by 2050. This means that the new regulations and policies that are coming ahead will be in our favor. We will then expand in Europe and globally in a market which is currently the fastest growing food production industry. Fish farmers in the Netherlands have two main problems: the high competition from cheap imported fish and the high cost associated with fish meal. With Mycofiltro, fish farmers will be able to produce 3 times more protein from what they currently produce through the production of microalgae, which they can sell to the market at a price of 20 times more expensive than fish. They will also be able to produce mushrooms, which in combination with microalgae, they can use as a substitute to their fish meal and enable them to reduce their cost by 45%. Nature was our inspiration in designing this system. 3 living organisms work together, where the waste of the one becomes the food of the other. Wastewater from the fish tank is pumped into a bottom container which consisted of mycelium, which are the roots of the mushrooms. Mycelium breaks down contaminants and uses them as food for growth into mushrooms. The partly treated water is then pumped into a top container, which is a greenhouse consisted of reactors where microalgae consume the nutrients in the wastewater in combination with carbon dioxide and sunlight for growth. The treated water is then returned back to the fish tank. The system produces not even a single waste stream, and it has a modular design which makes it so easy to install in any existing fish farm. We carried out 22 interviews to stakeholders, and we asked three main questions. What's the largest operating cost? If they are willing to shift to sustainable proteins for their fish feed, and if they are willing to add microalgae in their supply chain. We find out that fish meal is the largest operating cost. 75% of them are positive to shift to sustainable proteins, and 55% of them are positive to add microalgae in their supply chain. We want to conquer 60% of the beachhead market, which will lead us to an annual profit of €500,000. The key drivers to this profit is the cost to make the product and the number of customers. And the real beauty is in our climate impact. In comparison to existing traditional protein producers, we are net negative in carbon dioxide emissions. And this is because microalgae consume high amount of carbon dioxide during growth. In terms of water footprint, we consume 2 times less water to produce the same amount of protein as conventional fish farms. And this is the dream team of Petra and Steph, with 15 years of experience in sustainable innovations, Adam, our automation guru, Yannick, our mechanical engineer, and myself, product innovator with experience in bio-based industries. We want to build the first pilot plant by 2023 and earn €10 million by 2030. We want and we will disrupt the way food is produced. We believe that Mycofiltro is one step closer to our biggest dream, to make industrial activities nature positive. Thank you very much.
All right, great. Thank you, Mycofiltro. If you could have your video ready, and the jury will please do proceed. Great.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shanti, yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. That is indeed very disruptive, and in terms of innovation and all of that. I just wanted to know what could be because you are planning to do it in 2023, set up the first one, isn't it? And then I just wanted to know the challenges, top 2 or 3 challenges, like in bullets, and also wanted to know what could be the recurring costs of running the whole filter system, the system that you have. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, 2023, the biggest challenge to make this sooner is actually to find the first launching partner. If, for example, ClimateLaunchpad help us to find this launching partner, we can do it even next year. Talking about technological challenges, the biggest challenge, which is the state of the art of our system, is the mycelium filtration. It's a technology that is not yet industrially commercialized, but this is how nature works. And if we study nature, and this is actually has been done for millions of years. So that's the biggest challenge, to make it into an industrial scale. I think you asked one more question.
Yeah, the recurring cost. What will be the what will be the recurring cost, and how frequent will be the recurring cost?
Yeah, so the cost for the fish farmer to operate this plant is around 50% of what he is buying the system. So let's say around €30,000 per year. And the cost will be associated with running the system of maintaining the temperatures, humidity, and sunlight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Does anyone else have a question, jury?
Great. Jury?
Just a quick question, if possible.
Yeah.
Which is the, you mentioned that you can recycle some of the waste and put it back into feed. How likely is that, given the precision of the feed that's normally used in those types of aquaculture systems?
So yeah, this is very likely because in our system we are going to incorporate dryers and a grinding machine in order to dry the mushrooms and microalgae in order to make it into a powder form and then pelletize it in order to be used for the fish feed. So currently, in terms of algae, is one of the most hot topics for replacing, let's say, the current fish meal, and it has been proven by a lot of studies that it can be a very good replacement for the existing fish meal because of the high content of protein and omega-3. In terms of mushrooms, it's under development, under scientific proof. It was proven by many studies that this is a very promising alternative for current fish feed. So yeah, it's very promising.
Great. Thank you. We've run out of time. Thank you very much, Michael Filtro. Thank you, Jerry. Just let me know when you're ready for the, I think, second to last startup.
I'm ready.
Ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Great.
Me too.
Alrighty, great. Let me just.
Hello, my name is Natalia and I'm a founder and CEO of Viv Air. I spent over 10 years as an engineer studying how our air system works. I discovered something very interesting. Over 75% of air cooling and ventilation systems have serious operational issues that result in failures, energy waste, and a large carbon footprint. In industries such as food processing, cooling system failure leads to large amount of food spoilage and waste, resulting in large carbon footprint. In 2019, Singapore generated around 700 million kilograms of food waste. Globally, this number is over 900 billion worth of food that is wasted, which generates 4.4 gigatons of CO2 equivalents annually. So I decided to solve this problem. At Weaver, we are preventing this enormous problem by using sensor networks and software algorithms to monitor, predict, and prevent food spoilage, while saving energy and operational cost. We sell this solution to food processing industry at a rate of $20 per device per month. We discovered that the lack of reliable, high-density analytics in the food industry is a big problem, especially in the logistics, because of the more frequent temperature variations and inconsistent storage conditions, as well as lack of reliable monitoring. Due to the low-density monitoring, food spoilage is not detected early enough. And as you know, one bad apple in the batch spoils a whole batch, further amplifying the problem. This is where we are starting. But as we expand, we already have interest from a number of different stakeholders across the industry, including cold chain storage, as well as retail applications. Not only does our solution prevent food waste and the associated cost, it also reduces operational costs. 350,000 USD per year can be saved compared to the status quo. It is also easy to implement and low cost. It reduces food waste as well as energy use and greenhouse gas emissions. Weaver works by monitoring over 20 different environmental metrics in real time and in high-density networks using a single device that can be installed in any air cooling or ventilation system. It detects changes in conditions and gases associated with the food spoilage, and through patent-pending process, we discover anomalies and detect their sources, which allows us to implement intelligent controls leading to energy savings, operational cost savings, and more effective food preservation technologies, resulting in ROI in less than 2 years. To better understand our customers, we conducted 20 interviews with 3 key assumptions: that this change is desired, that the cost is acceptable, and that implementation is feasible. We learned that indeed the industry is looking for better solution, are willing to pay for it, and the distribution and implementation is straightforward. We have 3 paid pilots confirmed and other LOIs lined up. Based on the current interest, our conservative estimate is that we can reach 1,500 customers and make 1.2 million profit per year. with having a market share of 20%. The drivers for this model being that manufacturing and installation cost, the price of the product, and the market share, which we already thought about through our partnerships with manufacturing companies and distribution partners. We are reducing CO2 emissions for our beachhead market by 90%, and furthermore, we are also mitigating methane and carbon emissions from the dump sites. Our solution also reduces the energy waste associated with the facility management and reduces the need to produce, buy, and transport more food, which further reduces the carbon emissions. My background is engineering and technical sales, and I spent over 10 years building IoT products and 5 years implementing innovative solutions for cooling systems. I have an amazing team composed of Julie Huber, who is great in financing and operations, and Hyun-Suk Lim, who is great at marketing and business development. Our goal is to help over 300 food and beverage businesses reduce their food waste in 1 year, resulting in reduced food waste amount by 400,000 tons per year, while creating 50 new jobs. Our goal as a company is to attain 100 million plus in valuation in 5 years. Food waste is a huge problem that affects all of us throughout the value chain. So please join us to solve this huge problem. Thank you.
All righty. Great. Thank you. Weaver, if you could just turn on your video. Yeah. Great.
Hello. Hello. Congratulations for your pitch. A system change is needed, indeed. Just a quick question about your numbers. You say there is 70% of profit margin and a market share of 20%. As the market is so large, can you explain how do you end up with this 20% of market share, please?
Yes, thank you, Maria. Actually, the market that estimate that I gave in the presentation is conservative. So this the market of 1,500 is only within the Southeast Asia that we found according to our research. And so the 20% market share is something that is indicated by what we can attain and based on the responses that we were getting from both the direct customers who are the food distribution, retail, and storage, but also from the partners who are helping us to get more customers faster.
I hope that answered your question. Does anyone else have a question from the jury?
Yes. Okay. All right, great. Thank you, Weaver. Great.
Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, let me give the jury a little bit of time. I'll share my screen. Jury, do let me know.
Ready.
Great. This is the startup number 9 and the last.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, great.
I'm ready.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Yoil Technologies. As a proud Albertan, the yellow fields of canola are my favorite sight to see in the summer. Most of us are familiar with canola and other vegetable oils as cooking products, but we don't always stop to think about how much work goes into producing the clear yellow vegetable oil that we use every day. Here at Yoil Technologies, we're dedicated to bringing efficient and environmentally friendly processing to the vegetable oil industry. The most expensive step in vegetable oil processing is the removal of the green chlorophyll pigment from the oil, which is necessary to ensure quality products. But not only is this step expensive, it also produces tons of waste, and we're here to change that. Our deal is simple. Yoil Technologies has developed a biological protein that efficiently binds and removes chlorophyll from oils during processing. We will produce and sell our protein to oil producers at the market price of $20 per kilogram. Globally, we produce tons of cooking oil every year, and while Canadian canola is worth over $27 billion, it only accounts for 2% of the global vegetable oil industry. Due to the scale and locality of canola, we've decided to make our beachhead market small-scale canola oil producers across Canada and the US. This lets us validate our process at relevant scales with companies that have higher tolerance for risk. As we continue to grow, we plan on entering the rest of the canola market and expanding into other oil markets such as soybean oil, cannabinoid oils, and cosmetics. Pigment removal increases shelf life of vegetable oil. However, industry-standard acid-activated clays reduces the amount of oil produced and is very energy-intensive, making the only method in the market highly inefficient. Yoil's biological technology solves this problem. Acid-activated clays bind both the chlorophyll and the oil, meaning up to 20% of the oil can be lost in the process. In comparison, Yoil proteins bind specifically to chlorophyll to pull them out, meaning that the oil recovery is at 92%. Yoil also boasts advantages over acid-activated clays in transport costs and waste management. Acid-activated clays must be sourced from mines and shipped to production facilities, while Yoil proteins can be made with minimal equipment in bioreactors that are portable, meaning they can be made locally or on-site and then directly sent to nearby oil producers. While acid-activated clays bind chlorophyll permanently, making them single-use, Yoil proteins allow for chlorophyll to be recovered, meaning they can be repurposed for various downstream applications. In order to validate and improve our system, we've conducted over 50 customer interviews with farmers, oil producers, engineers, and consumers. These interviews have shed light on how oil companies operate when adopting new technology like ours. We've learned that oil refining is a process that operates on razor-thin margins, meaning that many of these oil processing companies are looking to support and integrate new methods that can increase their production yield. Additionally, decisions about the processes are not just based on unit economics, but are also reliant on the safety and reliability of the process. We also learned that clays, which are the current industry standard, are currently outsourced to a few select companies in the US. This clay is dense and it's sent in packed freight cars, and they also need to be imported on a continual basis, making this process logistically challenging. This pushes companies to look for other ways to streamline their supply chain. In general, the canola market is difficult to enter because there aren't very many players in this market, which is why our first key driver is market share. Every client is extremely important in our market entry. Our second driver is contract volume. Chlorophyll removal is a continuous process at oil processing facilities, so our goal is to restock their supplies through monthly contracts. And this leads to our third driver, which is production cost. The higher the protein demand, the lower the unit production cost. Our production process is extremely scalable, so the volume is the name of the game. With the impending climate crisis, of course, it's very important to us that our system not only alleviates processing stresses, but actually reduces the impact on the environment. Because the oil system can operate at ambient temperature and requires minimum transport, there is a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by over 90%. In addition, our proteins are recyclable and don't require the extensive mining like acid-activated clays do, meaning the detrimental effects of land usage and acid clay waste that reduces soil quality are completely eliminated. But we of course know that one of the key factors for startup success is a strong founding team, and we do have just that. Our experienced team of Yoil co-founders covers all bases for tech development, from modeling and design processing to the optimization of proteins and their interactions with plants. Our dream is to introduce environmentally friendly and effective alternatives to chlorophyll removal from oils. By 2022, we plan on displacing 2,400 kilograms of acid clay waste per year and 700 tons of carbon dioxide per year, making the yellow canola industry just a little bit greener, both for the environment and for canola growing economies. After all, Yoil was designed to take green oil and make it gold. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you, Yoel. If you could just turn on your video and wait for the jury's questions.
Hello, congratulations. You are driving a positive change. I have a question about the manufacture of those pigment removal proteins. Which will be the investment?
Yeah, for sure. So at the scale that we're looking for essentially what we're trying to build first is pilot contracts, operated pilot scales. We've been in the process of raising $20,000. For smaller scale, when we say bioreactors, we really mean fermentation vessels to be able to grow these proteins in our biological system, produce them, and start testing them at an industrially relevant scale.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Abdul, go ahead.
Oh, wonderful presentation. I don't know if I should say this is a question or just trying to call your attention to this. So under your financials, you said cost of product is about $12,000, and then the profit per product is about $11,000 thereabouts. So what's the actual cost of production? I mean, I feel that's a bit on the high side for profit.
For sure. So the connection was a little poor. So did you ask what is the cost of production?
Yeah, so I said from your presentation, I mean, you have $12,000 as cost of production and profits at $11,000, 11,000 plus. So I mean, I'm just wondering, is that not a bit high comparing the cost of production to the profit margin from our product?
Production and the actual price that which we're selling is about 50%. That's assuming that we're already at this pilot scale with equipment integrated, and that scale up, that 50% markup is essentially built off of the protein yield that we're able to get out of our pilot scale reactors.
All right.
Yes, Shanti, go ahead. I think you had a question.
Yes, very quickly. Just wanted to know at which stage is this business idea? Is this only in the like idea stage, or you have done some lab tests to vouch for the claims that you have made in the slide 3 or 4? Like about the goodness of this technology. Thank you.
Right. So we're about a year into the research process for this technology. So we've actually had results that show that our process works as planned in the laboratory scale. We haven't been able to validate it in the industry scale yet, but that's something that we have planned for the upcoming year to test our equipment in a pilot plant to make sure that it does really operate at the valid necessary scale.
Thank you.
Okay, great. I think that's great. I think that's all the questions. Thank you, Yoel.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
That was the ninth and final startup. So great. I think just a couple of points. This is quite amazing to see all 9 startups pitch. These are all winners from their national finals and regional finals, and there's a space for everyone, of course, to win as a business as well. For all of you, we're going to take some time, ask you to leave the room in a bit, but do make sure to check out the events that are happening tomorrow. There's quite a few interesting startup sessions and a keynote event as well. We will announce the winners tomorrow, not today, and the grand finals, of course, are on the 3rd day. Is that Friday? I think. Great. So thank you again. I want to thank the jury. Although your job is not done yet, you have the hard bit still left to do. That's Kenneth, Maria, Shanti, and Abdul. And you may have heard Aditi a few times as well, making sure that this room does flow smoothly. So I'd like to thank her as well. And there is a whole big team behind all of this, the ClimateLaunchpad team. From I can't go through all of them because I'm afraid of missing their names, but this has been pretty smooth. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone show up in the next couple of days and supporting whoever wins in this competition. So thank you all, and if I could just ask everyone then to leave the room except for the jury, that'd be great. Yeah.